Welcome to Hero Villains. Thank you for always following and supporting the channel. Who do you think would win in a Raiden vs. Iceman fight? When the God of Thunder confronts the Iceman, Raiden, the God of Thunder from Mortal Kombat, possesses the power to control electricity, teleport, and unleash devastating attacks like storms. He is not only a warrior, but also a protector, carrying ancient wisdom and divine power. Iceman, Marvel's Omega-level mutant, is the perfect embodiment of ice. He can manipulate temperature at the molecular level, create ice from nothingness, regenerate his body, and is nearly immortal in cold environments. His ability to spread consciousness through any form of water makes him an extremely difficult opponent to defeat. Before we delve into the analysis, please subscribe and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. Raiden is incredibly powerful. He is a god and the guardian of the earth. Interestingly, for some reason, Raiden can be killed like an ordinary human but then resurrected, making him immortal. In the early days of Earthrealm's history, Raiden rose as a guardian deity, bearing the responsibility of protecting the world from destructive forces. In the fateful battle with Shinnok, an ambitious supreme god seeking to seize all of Earthrealm, the sky trembled, the earth cracked, and the world's existence was pushed to the brink of collapse. Amidst this chaos, the Saurian civilization, where Reptile once belonged, was nearly wiped out. The survivors were forced to leave their homeland, wandering to a distant world they called Zaterra, carrying with them the painful memories of a lost era. With the support of other supreme gods, Raiden ultimately triumphed. He stole Shinnok's amulet, the core source of a supreme god's power, and banished him to hell. To prevent a repeat of this catastrophe, Raiden stored this dangerous artifact in a secret temple in the Himalayas, protected by the four elemental gods representing wind, fire, earth, and water. Soon after, when Shang Tsung organized the Mortal Kombat tournament, Raiden realized the threat it posed to Earthrealm's future. He decided to abandon his divine status, transforming into a mortal to participate directly. This is when a god accepts entering the human world, facing danger with his own finite life. Raiden is not only a thunder god, but also a master of close combat with extensive experience honed through countless life or death battles. In the Mortal Kombat arena, he is capable of standing alongside Earthrealm's greatest warriors like Liu Kang, even simultaneously withstanding pressure from Shang Tsung and Quan Chi. His strength stems from his near absolute mastery of martial arts. Jujutsu is the field where Raiden has reached the highest level, mastering hundreds of techniques from strikes and takedowns to grappling and controlling opponents on the ground. In addition, Judo allows Raiden to utilize his enemy's strength to counterattack, while Taekwondo provides speed and power to each kick, making every movement as sharp as an invisible blade. What truly sets Raiden apart is his divine power. He can control lightning at will, emitting electricity from his hands or summoning lightning bolts from the sky, tearing through space with blinding light. This energy also has healing properties, having once saved Fujin from a fatal wound. Raiden can also fly at incredibly high speeds, control the weather to create raging storms, and teleport between realms like a ghost. When the sky roars and the earth trembles, Raiden appears as the embodiment of nature's wrath. Lightning flashes around him, not just a display of power, but a chilling warning to anyone who dares challenge the order of the realms. Raiden's true nature is pure supernatural energy, an entity formed from lightning and divine will. Therefore, even if destroyed, Raiden can be reborn after a period of time, although this process always carries the risk of his energy being corrupted. He also has the ability to see into the soul, discerning good from evil and even the seeds that could change a person's destiny. Raiden can unleash his full energy in a massive explosion. This was a devastating blow, but it was also the last resort because the price to pay was his life. Furthermore, he wields lightning as a versatile weapon, from continuously discharging electricity to creating surprise attacks that leave opponents no time to react. Raiden transforms electrical energy into powerful offensive techniques. He can transform into a bolt of lightning, charging straight at enemies at extreme speed, or lift opponents with electricity and torture them in a torrent of furious energy. Short bursts of electricity released around his body repel any approaching enemies, while attacks from behind or electric slides close to the ground create deadly surprises. Even while airborne, each of his strikes carries the power of the sky, descending like a judgment. At a higher level, Raiden's techniques become terrifyingly brutal. He can paralyze opponents with electricity, teleport to vital points, destroy spines, and crush bodies in an instant. Each movement was so swift it was almost invisible, leaving behind flashes of lightning and the rumbling sound of thunder. Raiden was not only powerful but also harnessed a vast, mystical energy, as he and Fujin created an explosion on a scale far exceeding all expectations. Even weakened, he was still able to subdue Onaga, an entity possessing all the Kamidogu, ancient artifacts containing the essence of ultimate power in this universe. Raiden displayed his power in a way that was both precise and brutal. A bolt of electricity from his hand could pierce an opponent's body, incinerating everything in an instant, leaving only ashes and a cold skull. When summoning his staff, he not only used it as a weapon but transformed it into a terrifying conduit, piercing through the enemy's body and maintaining the flow of energy until life was completely extinguished. Raiden's techniques were both divine and terrifying. He can concentrate energy into a single point, unleashing it as a destructive lightning bolt that engulfs both himself and his target in an explosion. In other attacks, Raiden summons continuous lightning, relentlessly overwhelming his opponents until their bodies can no longer withstand the strain and they explode from within. He can even tear apart his enemies' body parts with electricity, controlling them like puppets and destroying them completely in an instant. Raiden not only attacks the body but also manipulates the very life within his opponents. He can teleport, remove the heart and brain, inject energy into them, and then put them back in, turning the enemy's body into a living bomb before it explodes. In that moment, the flash of lightning is like a final judgment, and the rumbling thunder echoes like a chilling declaration that no one can escape the wrath of the Thunder God. I really hope you will subscribe to the channel. It will help us a lot, and you are the best person ever. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk about Iceman. Iceman, whose real name is Robert Bobby Drake, is a founding member of the X-Men. A mutant, he possesses extraordinary ice manipulation abilities, capable of freezing his surroundings in an instant and even transforming his own body into living ice. Despite being classified as an Omega-level mutant, Bobby hasn't yet reached his full potential, making his journey of power development both mysterious and promising. Over the years, Iceman has gradually transformed from a reckless young man into a seasoned warrior. He not only learns to control his abilities, but also pushes the limits of his own capabilities, discovering new potentials hidden beneath the icy surface. His maturity was forged through countless fierce battles, where he faced diverse and dangerous enemies, from rebellious mutants to other forces. Besides his supernatural powers, Bobby is also a certified public accountant, a seemingly contradictory detail that reveals the balance within him. In combat, he is a master of close quarters fighting, having been trained by renowned figures such as Black Widow and Hercules. The combination of his fighting skills, sharp intellect, and icy abilities makes Iceman an unpredictable opponent, capable of freezing the battlefield while maintaining incredible composure amidst the chaos. When the surrounding air suddenly cools and the ground begins to crystallize into ice, Iceman emerges as a living blizzard, cold yet powerful. The light reflecting off the ice on his body creates a beauty that is both fragile and terrifying, as if anyone who dares to approach will be swallowed up in that endless cold. Iceman possesses a rare ability that allows him to control his body temperature, both internally and externally, with near-perfect precision. By directly manipulating the hypothalamus in his brain, Bobby can actively lower his body temperature to extreme levels in an instant. Remarkably, his biological tissues remain unharmed when subjected to deep freezing, a mutation that allows him to survive and function in conditions where all other living things would perish. When fully activated, Iceman can lower the temperature to near absolute zero, where molecular movement almost ceases. In that state, he becomes the center of a massive cold zone, capable of neutralizing extremely powerful energy sources and even preventing devastating explosions. Bobby can also observe the world in a completely different way, detecting life through the thermal signatures it emits within the frigid space surrounding it. He can completely control sub-zero temperatures, creating, shaping, and manipulating ice at will. At the same time, he can absorb heat from the environment or from his opponent's own body, causing them to quickly lose their life force. This versatility makes him a warrior capable of silent but extremely effective attacks. When the surrounding air becomes still and breath turns into a thin mist, Iceman stands there as the center of a frozen world. Iceman masters ice like an artist manipulating matter with his will. For Bobby, the battlefield is no longer earth or air, but a vast canvas where everything can be reshaped according to his imagination. Iceman doesn't need to touch it to create. Simply by directing the icy currents emanating from his body, he can construct any structure he desires, from ice ladders, slides, and shields to giant domes and sharp ice beams. All are formed in an instant. These structures are not only visually stunning but also incredibly durable, capable of holding colossal opponents like the Hulk captive for extended periods. Iceman can also alter his surroundings on a massive scale. He has created snow, even triggering a fierce blizzard, transforming space into a harsh icy zone. When needed, he can reverse the process, rapidly melting the ice to adapt to the situation. He can erect towering ice columns to lift himself into the air, or create ice slides extending between the air and surrounding structures. As the ice spreads, the ground turns white, and the air becomes eerily silent, Iceman emerges as the creator of a frozen world. Iceman not only controls the cold at the surface, but manipulates it at the molecular level, allowing him to directly interfere with life mechanisms such as freezing blood in opponents' bodies and halting biological processes in an instant. Bobby even controlled sophisticated chemical reactions, rendering powerful energy sources like sunfire ineffective. Iceman can lower temperatures to near absolute zero, where almost all atomic movement ceases. In this state, his cold is capable of freezing seemingly unaffected things like light or supernatural energy. Each time he unleashes his full power, the surrounding space seems to slow down. The most terrifying aspect lies in his organic ice form. When activated, Bobby's body is no longer just covered in ice, but actually becomes a transparent, living ice entity, almost indestructible. Even if crushed or vaporized, he can regenerate from the surrounding moisture, a nearly inexhaustible resource in the air. Iceman doesn't just control ice, he can create ice clones of himself, each acting as an extension of his will. This ability isn't simply cloning, but rather a process of cellular body restructuring, allowing him to transform himself to avoid fatal damage. When faced with dangerous toxins, Bobby can cause the contaminated molecules to dissolve and replace them with pure water from the environment, thus purifying and regenerating himself during combat. He can increase his body mass, boosting his physical strength to enormous levels. This allows him not only to be agile, but also strong enough to directly confront opponents with superior strength. At the same time, absorbing water allows him to heal wounds quickly, even draining moisture from enemies, weakening them in a short time. Iceman's mobility is also extraordinary. He can glide across the water as if it were land, or dissolve his body into water to dodge attacks and counterattack unexpectedly. When needed, Bobby can transform his entire body into water, submerging opponents in icy waves of his own making. In the most tense moments, when his body melts and reforms amidst the freezing steam, Iceman emerges as an indestructible entity. He fights not only with brute strength, but also with an adaptability far beyond human limits, rendering every attack seemingly meaningless against an opponent who can constantly regenerate from his surroundings. The encounter between Raiden and Iceman began in a neutral space, where a desolate city lay silent under a heavy sky. Sensing an unfamiliar energy, Raiden immediately assumed it was a threat from the Netherrealm, and launched a preemptive strike. Lightning tore through the air, hurtling towards Iceman like a divine warning. Raiden utilized his superior speed and close combat skills to overwhelm his opponent. A barrage of electrically charged blows rained down, forcing Iceman to erect layers of ice shields to defend himself. However, Bobby was not passive. He quickly counterattacked with sharp ice spikes, creating a tense stalemate. At close range, Raiden maintained the advantage thanks to his extensive combat experience and precise strikes. As the battle escalated, both began to unleash their true power. Raiden summoned a storm of lightning that engulfed the entire battlefield, transforming the sky into a raging ocean of electricity. But Iceman immediately retaliated by lowering the ambient temperature to an extreme level, causing the air to freeze solid. The electrical storm quickly transformed into a blizzard, and even the lightning bolts were frozen in mid-air like trapped fragments of light. From here, Iceman gradually gained control as he began to influence the water content in Raiden's body. Raiden entered a more powerful state, harnessing the dark power from Shinnok's amulet. His energy erupted violently, shaking the ground. But Iceman also unlocked the full Omega potential, continuously regenerating from the surrounding moisture and lowering the temperature to near absolute zero. Space seemed to slow down, every movement stifled in the invisible cold. Raiden was completely frozen, his energy body fixed at the molecular level before slowly disintegrating in silence. This was a weakness that an opponent like Iceman could fully exploit. Not only that, Iceman has also demonstrated abilities beyond the ordinary, such as freezing extreme forms of energy from fire to cosmic entities. These achievements show that his control over matter has reached a level that Raiden has never clearly demonstrated. However, that doesn't mean Raiden is completely outmatched. With his speed, combat experience, and superior close combat skills, he still has a chance if he can take advantage of the element of surprise. A lightning fast attack or a tactic to eliminate an opponent from the battlefield could create a turning point. Even so, Iceman still has the ability to teleport and regenerate wherever there is water. When lightning collides with ice, one side is the wrath of the sky. The other is a chilling silence that can freeze the world. Iceman is stronger and wins. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Please follow me if you like it. That's today's video. Thank you very much.